group level. Then Sir Nathan also discussed how to ensure that every eligible unit um, has an equal chance of receiving the program and that the program is not being assigned using arbitrary or subjective criteria. He highlighted the importance of ensuring that the evaluation provides an accurate estimate of the counterfactual through a valid comparison group. We call this as internal validity or the endogeneity, and that the evaluation sample accurately represents the population of evaluation units, also called exogeneity or external validity. And then he also discussed the risk of inappropriate random assignment, which is the spillover. This concept also was elaborated by Dr. Aguilar with some practical examples. This particular risk occur when the incoming group bias could affect the veracity of the impact evaluation results. However, important risk could also changes in the outcome of a program. This imperfect compliance. Um, this some members of the participate in the program or some members of the groups where physical variables known as the topic assigned to me it the best I can based on my own understanding. So aside from the imperfect compliance, another assumption to consider is when voluntary enrollment or universal coverage is possible. This is when the budget is big enough to cover the whole population in the program immediately. Therefore, including potential participants for the sake of the evaluation results, for the sake of evaluation statistical, no, kay dili na good pwede lang sa evaluation nga pag um, evaluation nga atong mo magpili data o pila ng mga ipapakil sa program or not tungod sa nga atong himuon ianam-anam ra nato implement ng program so dili maayo. So important property of uh, variable method is that rely external source of variation to detect status of the treatment group. The participating in the program, but it is otherwise not associated with his or her characteristics. There are two methods or two applications of the instrumental variable methods. Number one, as an extension of the randomized assignment method when not all units comply with our group assignment, meaning there is imperfect compliance. For example, um, some in the treatment group did not enroll, or some of those in the comparison group enrolled, which means to say that they did not comply with their group assignment. The second application is to design randomized promotion of treatment. This is an evaluation method that can work for programs that offer voluntary enrollment or universal coverage. There are two ways of estimating impact. I mean, Impact estimates for these cases can be done in two ways. First is to compute the intention to treat or ITT estimate, which um, it estimates the difference outcomes between the units assigned to the comparison group irrespective of whether the units assigned to the treatment group receives the treatment. In other words, it is just a weighted average of the outcomes of participants and non-participants in the treatment group with the average outcome in the comparison groups. It determines the average impact of offering the program given that the enrollment or participation in the treatment group is voluntary. The second way is to the treatment on the treated is simply the direct estimate of the difference in outcomes between the treatment group and the comparison group. When there is full or perfect compliance, the ITT is just equal to the POT. In our example on the job training program, the straight difference between the treatment group and the comparison group is 40 pesos. Now, this is the amount of the ITT, which is also the POT. But when there is imperfect compliance, we compute for the local average treatment effect or late. In case kuno out of 10 samples, only 9 lang ang ni-comply or ni-enroll sa program while all 10 units in the comparison group did not, again, the ITT would just be 40 pesos, which is the straight difference between the average impact of units in the treatment group, which in our example is 110 pesos, and the average outcome those in the comparison group, which is 70 pesos. Now, that TOT, on the other hand, is 59 pesos, which is the estimated impact for katong sa 90% who actually participated or enrolled in the treatment group minus the average outcome of those in the comparison group. This is actually just one case of imperfect compliance, or meaning that treatment group has imperfect compliance while the comparison group has perfect compliance. And this can be accordingly relevant measure for impact since most ato mga policy makers and program managers can only offer program and can force it on their target population. However, the TOT impact of the 90% is not necessarily the same as the impact of the remaining atong 10% nga wala ni participate sa program. In case they should become program participants, this would mean that we cannot extrapolate the local treatment effect directly from one group to another. In the second case of the imperfect compliance, where the TG has perfect compliance and CG has imperfect compliance, the ITT is not insightful accordingly since the average outcome of the comparison group will be biased upward while the ITT will be downgraded. Since remember, ITT is just the average outcome of the treatment group minus the average outcome of the comparison group. Therefore, for case 2, we compute the local average treatment effect or the late. This applies also to scenarios in which there is non-compliance in both the treatment group and the comparison group simultaneously. But to compute for the LATE or late, it is important to know the 3 types of individuals in the population. First, we have the enroll if assigned or EIA individuals. These are the compliers in both the treatment group and the comparison group. In our example, these are the teachers participating in the training even if only if they are assigned. And the second group is the never. They are those that if assigned in the treatment group, they are non-compliers. Or in our example, they are the teachers who will not participate in the training even if assigned. Then the last group, the always individuals, they are those that if assigned in the comparison group, they are non-compliers. No? Kini sila ang mga teachers, atong example, who will participate in the training even if wala sila gi-assigned, perhaps due to strong motivation and other possible reasons. Now, the difference in outcomes between the treatment group and the comparison group must come from the effect of the program on the only group, affected by their assignment to the treatment. Kini sila ang mga EIA group. Therefore, it would be fake compliance on the side of the comparison group, that is 10% no, of individuals in the comparison group enrolled, meaning na nagbuot-buot og apil bisan no dili unta sila labot sa program. But then again, they cannot be excluded or cannot be denied since it would be unethical. So what we do is to compute the local average treatment effect following these two steps. Now, first, we calculate the ATE or the average treatment effect, which is the straight difference in the outcome indicator for the treatment group and the same indicator for the comparison group. So ATE equals average in the individual wages of the treatment group minus the average individual wages of the comparison group, which in our example is 110 minus 70 pesos equals 40 pesos. This is the same as the ITT in our previous example. And the second, we need to recover the late estimate for the EIA with reference to the ITT estimate. This is simply done by dividing the percentage of individuals under the comparison group who will only participate or enroll in the program if assigned. Dito sa atong example is only 10%. So if the non-compliance is only on the part of the comparison group, we can compute the late as 40 pesos divided by 10% equals 400 pesos. This is in the increase in individual wages, which is simply the impact of the job training program. But in reality, this is not the case because there is also non-compliance in the treatment group. Now, some teachers could have not participated in the program due to some reasons. Therefore, we need to know kung asa man gyud ni nagikan ang kanang 40 pesos nga diferensya. So to find out, let us do the elimination. In our example, the difference cannot be caused by the differences between the never people in the treatment and the comparison group since they will never enroll in the job training program. Therefore, walay kalahian kung sakop man sila sa treatment group or sa comparison group, which means that never in the treatment group minus the never in comparison group equals to 0. So the second, the 40 pesos nga difference cannot also be caused by the differences between the always people in the treatment group and those in the comparison group because they will always enroll in the program. So like the never people, it also makes no difference for the always individuals or individual always people nga whether they are in the treatment group or in the comparison group. So this also means that always in TG minus always in CG equals 0. Therefore, the difference in outcomes between the treatment group and the comparison group must come from the effect of the program on the only group affected by their assignment, either in the treatment group or the comparison group. So that is the enroll if assigned or EIA people. Therefore, EIA in the treatment group minus EIA in the comparison group equals the impact. Pero ang problema kay dili man ingon ana kasayon ma-distinguish nato ang EIA people in both the treatment group and the comparison group. Okay, we cannot separate them out even if we know that they exist. In the treatment group, we can identify the never people because they are the ones not enrolled in the program. But we cannot differentiate the always people and the EIA people doon kay pareho raman sila nga ni enroll sa program. So in the comparison group, we can identify the always people because they enroll in the job training program bisan wala sila'y labot. But we cannot differentiate between the never and the EIA people kay both man have not enrolled in the program. However, if we observe that 90% of the units in the treatment group enroll or participate in the program, and surely these are the always and the EIA people, we can particularly assume that the remaining 10% who did not enroll must be the never people. So meanwhile, in the comparison group, if we observe that 10% of the units or the individuals in the group did not enroll, we know that these are the always people. The rest are the nevers and the EIAs. Eliminating the always in the equation leaves us with the enroll if assigned people, which is equivalent to 80% of the sample units. Now, if 80% are responsible for an average impact of 40 pesos for the entire group assigned treatment, then the impact of those 80% of EIA people must be ITT divided by percent EIA, or equals to 40 pesos divided by 0.8 equals 50 pesos. In other words, the impact of the job training program for the EIA is 50 pesos. But when this impact is spread across the entire group, assigned treatment, the